Hello, my name is Antonio Pappano, and I'd like to welcome you to this third in the series of 4 video podcasts focusing in on Verdi's Aida, and in particular my recording for Warner Classics with the orchestra and chorus of Santa Cecilia and Anja Harteros, Ekaterina Semenchuk, Jonas Kaufmann, Ludovic Tezier, and Erwin Schrott. We are at Act 3 today, and when you hear the beginning of this act, you know you have been transported really to another world. Listen to this music. Now it's all around the note G, and it's so miraculous because you have the violins playing this as I started with, and then you have more violins playing this tremolo, you have the violas playing this, and then you have a very, very high harmonic played by the cellos. Listen. Now, what is this depicting? Well, we are at the Nile River, and it is dark, it is night, and he even says the stars are shining brightly, e notte stellata, therefore the luminosity of this music is absolutely rare. You get this flute solo, quite lonely, very ritualistic. We have the melismas of what would be for Verdi Egyptian music, yes? Listen to these colors now. The difference between minor, but back and forth, creating an almost trance-like atmosphere. What is being prepared here is the nuptials of Amneris. She is going to marry Radames, or she thinks she does, and the chorus set in the temple at a distance sings a prayer to Isis, the mother and bride of Osiris. And this is a chant, this very, very high static note. Not too far away from the Gregorian chant. And then we have the high priestesses. So you get the two colors, men and women, and you get soft and loud, and it's the rarefied atmosphere of this is absolutely incredible. You get the paternal tones of Ramphis, the high priest, saying to Amneris to come to the temple and pray to Isis for her favor. And he says in a very telling and beautiful phrase, ogni mistero dell'uomo. Every mystery of the human nature is known to her. Amneris answers, yes, sì, io pregherò, I will pray. And with these dots, che radames, that radames, mi doni tutto il suo cuore, that radames will give me his whole heart. But there's a quiet desperation in this, because she's suspicious, because she thinks that Radames and Aida, that there's a bond between them somehow. Come il mio cor a lui sacro. So it's a very beautiful phrase, but there's some unrest there. The prayers go on, and we leave that scene, and we hear this theme that I've played for you many, many times. Which is the Aida theme. And in fact, Aida comes to the edge of the Nile. But there is disquiet here too. And of course, there's the flowing water of the Nile. So Verdi shows this brilliantly. Listen to this. This played by 3 flutes, creating a very, very special, almost like a pipe rather than a flute. It's a very particular sound, warm, rich. But listen to the violas. See this unrest in the music, these strange accents. She is to have a meeting with Radames, and she says, Qui Radames verrà, he will come here. What does he want to tell me? I'm trembling. And of course the ever-present tremolo in the strings. She talks about her fear in that he's coming to say goodbye to her. And she says that she will throw herself into the vortex that is the Nile. And listen to this. And then I might have peace in forgetfulness, or death in this case is what she means. Beautiful, beautiful picture painting here, remarkable in fact. Again, these solo instruments that Verdi chooses. Before we had the flute, then we had the 3 flutes, now we have the oboe. Again, extremely melismatic in nature, and listen to these colours. And here we have one of the great arias. O patria mia, mai più ti rivedrò. O country of mine, never more will I see you again. And it's an aria of incredible nostalgia. Going to a higher plane here, musically speaking. Just oboe and 2 clarinets. Mai più ti rivedrò. And then again, conjuring up with the help of the 3 flutes and the clarinets, we get this frisson that accompanies her memory, her nostalgic memory of the blue skies of Ethiopia and her native land and the breezes. It's remarkable, and it's done through the use of tremolo again. It's a miracle, this, because he starts in the minor, like there's a plaintive tone. But finishes in the major. Like there's hope there. ever so sweetly. She remembers the hills, the green hills, the perfumed rivers. That I will never see again. We have the oboe comes back in a plaintive nature, O patria mia. And these phrases will grow and grow and grow, saying the same words, my pew, nevermore, nevermore. The second verse, with even more disquiet in the accompaniment. Listen to this. So above that she sings the same melody. Oh, fresco, it was you. She talks about the fresh valleys, a respite that made her happy. The end of this aria is very, very famous for its demands on the singer, because Verdi brings the soprano up to a high C. Listen to the orchestra weave with the singer. She sings using the pentatonic scale there. Impressionistic it is in its delicacy, in its modernity, I have to say. It's absolutely fabulous, and shows that Verdi was ready to seek for the right colors. And this scene must have made a huge impact on somebody like Puccini. In fact, it was a performance of Aida that just transformed his life, and you can see why. How the picture painting, how the colors are so advanced and so new, and I have to say, so personal, having nothing to do with Wagner or the German school. Here is something that is incredibly Mediterranean in nature. She is interrupted in her reverie by her father. A te grave cagion m'adduci Aida. And this automatically, the temperature of the scene changes completely. He says, I know that you are in love with Radames, and that he loves you, and that you're waiting for him, and that the daughter of the pharaohs is your rival. And he is extremely aggressive with her. And he tries now in this next scene, again I would say probably a highlight of the opera, that you will have country, you will have a throne, and you will have love. Patria e trono e amor, tutto tu avrai. Silence. And he says, you will see again the forests, the fresh valleys, and our golden temples. So he wants to bring her back home here. And so this next scene is a scene of seduction, and I don't mean in the sexual way, but he's trying to get her to imagine life as it was before. And so you get these incredibly beautiful melodies, really trying to provoke a nostalgia for her country. Rivedrai le foreste imbalsamate, le fresche valli, I nostri templi d'or. And it's beautifully harmonized. She falls into the reverie. Really very beautiful, but then he goes on to say, but remember, he reminds her of the destruction that the Egyptians brought upon her family, her country, and they killed the young virgins, the mothers, the elderly, and the children. In plaintive tones, she remembers those days of war, but unexpectedly we hear this. Most beautiful phrase, and it comes out of nowhere. It is a phrase where she asks, she prays to the gods that everything can return to the way it was, and with incredible serenity. He interrupts her again. These very, very now martial orchestral gestures, and he says, but our people are rearming themselves. Everything is ready. We will have victory. I only need to know which route the enemy will take. And she says, but how will you discover this? And he says, through you, tu stessa. Io Radames, so che qui attendi. He loves you. He will lead the Egyptians, almost exhausting these phrases. Little by little he doses it out. It's like a medicine in a throat. And she gets it. Horrore! E mai consigli tu? No, jamais. She's being asked to betray Radames and his country. She understands that she's supposed to try to get this information from Radames. And when she protests, we have one of the greatest orchestral cataclysms that Verdi ever composed. I only can call to mind a couple of moments in Don Carlos, and in the future he will go on to have several moments of this kind of outrageous power in Otello, which comes later. It's her father saying, okay, let them destroy us, let them tear us apart again. It goes something like this. She says, no, never, jamais. Now there are words to this, but I can't sing them fast enough. But it's what I said before. The power of this is just absolutely incredible, and it is perhaps the crux of the opera. He finishes by saying, you are no longer my child. Non sei mia figlia, ai faraoni, tu sei la schiava of the pharaohs. You are a slave. And she's bitterly wounded. Pietà, have mercy. Have mercy. Have mercy. She's in tears here. Now we have another ostinato figure, repeated figure. And in my left hand I'm playing something that is akin to the music of the high priest, but it's not that. I think this is by chance, but she says, I'm not their slave. Don't damn me. I am your daughter again. And this, her phrases are fragmentary. It's the orchestra that carries this line. And she sings, Schiava, non sono, non maledirmi, non imprecarmi. He offers her comfort. Penso che un popolo. He offers comfort musically speaking, but in the words, he's again making her feel incredible guilt that her people are suffering. Vinto straziato per te. Only you can help them to re-emerge. The orchestra climbs higher. Listen to this note, incredible. It's where she loses her will to fight. Quanto amico, how much it will cost me this. He says, courage. As he leaves, courage. Radames is coming. I will overhear everything over there. So you can imagine how distraught Aida is. Now this next duet, Radames comes in. Oh, that I re-see you again, my dolce Aida, with a thrusting phrase. Heroic, masculine. She says, get away, get away. You're in, there's Amneris. And he says, you doubt my love? Dell'amor mio dubiti, Aida. How will you get away from the snares of Amneris? Oh, dimmi Aida. And he explains in very, very military music, the trumpets. How, yes, he's going off to war, but he will, after the victory, he will pray upon his king to understand the love that he has for Aida, and there'll be eternal happiness. But she says, using this jealousy theme, but don't you fear the vindictive Amneris? He says, but I will defend you in vain. You can never. Here it happens. Yet, if you love me, there's a way we can escape together. Which one? Fuggire! Fuggire, to escape together. And now, through an incredible seduction and manipulative to the zenith, she says, let's leave these inhospitable shores there to my country with a virgin forest. They sing a song of flight, which is so reminiscent of one in La Forza del Destino. This one is... This one is even more frenzied. But, she says, but tell me, how will we avoid the armed soldiers. We have chosen a path, he says, that will be deserted until tomorrow. And she says, and which path is that? Le gole di Napata, the Straits of Napata. And Amonasro, Aida's father, comes out having heard that. Di Napata le gole, ivi saranno I miei, they will be mine. I'm of Aida the father. And now, of course, Radames, when he finds out that he's been overheard and that he's been tricked, we will hear this phrase over and over again. I'm dishonored. Io son dishonorato. Io son dishonorato. Per te tradir la patria. Tradir la patria. It's not your fault, Father says. Non sei colpevole. It was fate's decree. Well, you can imagine. What could be worse than this? Well, of course, Amneris' entrance. Bam! La mia rivale, my rival! No, pra mia struggervieni. And Amonaso realizes that now he's in big trouble and that he's caught. She is accompanied by guards. And all hell breaks loose. And the orchestra intones this. As they chase Amonasro, Radames is left alone and he says, Sacerdote, he says this to Ramphis, the high priest. Sacerdote, I am yours. And he realizes that he's in huge trouble and that he will be imprisoned. The orchestra ends in a very super Beethoven-esque D minor. This act is extremely compact in nature, something quite different to Act 2, but it contains some of the greatest, certainly some of the greatest orchestral characterization, some of the most unforgettable music that Verdi ever wrote. And it is very special. And together with the fourth act that follows it, I think we're seeing really the supreme art of a great master. Again, the subject matter and the place, this is not to be underestimated. The place, the fact that it takes place at a time, in an ancient time, in an ancient civilization, in an exotic place, was something that at this point in his career, Verdi needed. It was an inspiration, and I think he delivered, don't you think? I hope you enjoy this IDAGIO video podcast. I hope you enjoy the recording of Act 3 that follows. I think each performer has given their utmost, and they are incredibly characterful and believable in their roles. And of course, and the orchestra does their part too, of course. Thank you for your time, and thank you